Hello students, today we are on page number 9. In the last video we learned about the sources of ancient Indian history. In it we learned about memorizing and reciting. This was the new way, or it had the ancient Indian had developed the technique of memorizing and reciting them, because in this particular period the script was not developed. The Vedas were written down later on. The Vedas, I told you already, before this the script was not available. So memorizing and reciting, this was the way to learn the Vedas. The Vedas were written down later on. The Vedas and the post-Vedic literature form an important source of ancient Indian history. Important sentence for us: Vedas and post-Vedic literature means Vedas, four Vedas that we know. We will learn in the next lesson, it is there. So Vedas and Vedic literature, post-Vedic literature, these were an important source of ancient Indian history. It includes the Brahmanas, the Upanishads, the epics Ramayana and Mahabharata, the Jain and Buddhist literature, plays, poems, stone and pillar inscription, travelogues of foreign travelers, etc. We also learn about ancient Indian history through material sources. Now see, for the study of ancient Indian histories, these Vedas, post-Vedic literature, Brahmanas, Upanishads, epics like Ramayana and Mahabharata, Jain and Buddhist literature, plays, poems, stone, pillar inscriptions, travelogues, these all things are included for the study of ancient Indian histories. And we also learn this study can be did with the help of sources like archaeological remains, ancient monuments and coins and pots and pottery and ornament and many of the other things. With the help of these all things we can study about ancient Indian history. And now we have to now we have to study now these all things we learn: material sources, written sources, oral sources, and how it helps us to study the particular period. But it is the question, what precaution we should take, because these sources that gives us an information, but while using these sources we need to take the precaution. And what precaution to be taken while writing history? But while writing the conclusion we need to take the precaution. While authenticating the sources, while writing the history, what precaution we should take, that we have to write. We have to see here, it is necessary to take a precaution while using the sources to write history. It is necessary, it is important. A written document cannot be said to be authentic just because it is old. See now, though you got a written document, but it is not authenticate, it is not true, we can't say it's a true, it's a right, because we have to cross verify it. We have to find out the evidences that justifies that particular document. We can't say it is the old document so it's right. So we need to find the authenticity of the particular document. It needs to be examined critically as to who wrote it, why and when it was written. Suppose you found a one piece of paper and you thought it was of 1593, so just it's a right. No, we need to find out, we need to cross verify it, who wrote it, why he wrote it, and when he wrote it. So these all things we need to cross verify, we need to examine. The conclusion drawn on the basis of various genuine documents have to be cross checked and corroborated with one another. Such a critical analysis is very important in the writing of. Now see, this conclusion drawn on the basis of various genuine documents, genuine means true, genuine, original documents, have to cross check, and corroborated means we have to cross check, we have to find out the supporting documents to it, and we can write the conclusion finally with the basis of on the basis of various genuine documents. Such a critical analysis is very important in the writing of history. And while going to write any statement on the on the particular point, or on going to write history, we need to cross examine the genuine document. We need to visit the particular building or the monument and so on, an artifact. We need to study in details about that, then only we can write. It's a right, we should take the precaution, because we should take the precaution to be taken while writing history, because it's a history and it should be genuine and authenticable. So now what would you do if you have found an old coin? Keep it yourself, give it to your parents, and give it to a museum. This, suppose you found an old coin, then what you will do? Just 3 points are given, just think over it and try to answer. What you will do? You keep it to yourself. No, it's not a right, because what you will do? You have to give it to your any museum means you can't reach till museum, so you have to give it to your parents. Then your parents will give it to the museum, or they will keep as a, we can say, they will keep in the safe place, and when they will visit to any museum, they will give it to the museum. So this is the last video of second lesson, sources of history, and now you have to complete the exercise of this lesson. All questions are very simple. Answer in one sentence. In the past, what materials were used for writing? Very simple. Just read the lesson and find out. What information is obtained from Vedic literature? It is here. The Vedic literature form an important source of ancient Indian history. It includes the Brahmins. And what information that you will find it in the lesson. Which literature is preserved by oral tradition? That also, these are the simple questions. You have to write this. Question number 1. Classify the following sources as material, written and oral sources. Very simple activity. This also you have to write in notebook. Classify the following sources: material, written and oral. Here just these sources are given. You have to classify it in these 3. And here, observe the picture of earthen pots and try to make similar one. Okay, it is an activity. Observe any coin and note the following things. Any coin, just you have to find out, and whatever you can use year of the coin, symbol on the coin, picture, language, this you can write. And metal used, that you have to take your parents' help, and inscription on the coin. This means whatever the information is given on the coin, with the help of you can answer these questions. And here, do you know a few things by heart? Present them in your group. Okay, it's a group activity. So only the question number 1, question number 2, question number 3, 4 you have to write in notebook, right?